The TOEIC test is very important for many people. TOEIC stands for Test of English for International Communication. It measures your English skills for the workplace. Many companies around the world use the TOEIC test. They use it to see if your English is good for business. A good TOEIC score can help you get a better job. It can also help you get a promotion in your current job. This test shows that you can communicate in English in everyday work situations. It is a valuable tool for your career. Many international companies require a TOEIC score from job applicants. This is because English is often the language of global business. If you want to work for a multinational corporation, a good score is helpful. Educational institutions also use the TOEIC test. They might use it for admission to programs taught in English. They may also use it to assess the English proficiency of their students before graduation. So, this test opens doors to both work and study opportunities. It is recognized and respected worldwide. The TOEIC listening and reading test is the most common version. It is a paper and pencil multiple choice test. There are two sections, listening comprehension and reading comprehension. Each section has 100 questions. The total test time is about 2.5 hours. Your score reflects your ability to understand spoken and written English. This essay will focus on a key part of the reading section. We will help you master the incomplete sentences part. This part tests your grammar and vocabulary. Preparing for the TOEIC test can greatly improve your English skills. As you study, you learn vocabulary and grammar used in business. You become more comfortable with English in professional contexts. This preparation not only helps you get a good score, it also makes you a more confident English speaker and reader. Many people find that studying for TOEIC helps them in their daily work. They can understand emails better. They can participate more effectively in meetings. This is a practical benefit of your hard work. The incomplete sentences section is part 5 of the TOEIC reading test. This section is very important for your overall reading score. It contains 30 questions. Each question is a sentence with one word or phrase missing. You will see a blank space in the sentence. Below the sentence, there are 4 answer choices. These choices are labeled A, B, C, and D. Your task is to choose the best word or phrase to complete the sentence. You need to select the option that makes the sentence grammatically correct and meaningful. This section primarily tests 2 main areas of your English knowledge. The first area is grammar. Questions will check if you understand English sentence structure. This includes things like verb tenses and subject-verb agreement. It also includes prepositions, conjunctions, and word order. The second area is vocabulary. Questions will test if you know the meaning of common English words. They also check if you can choose the correct word form for the context. You need to understand subtle differences in meaning between similar words. The sentences in this section are usually about common workplace situations. You might see sentences about office procedures or business meetings. Topics can include travel, personnel, purchasing, or finance. You do not need to be an expert in business to answer these questions. All the information you need is in the sentence itself. The key is to apply your grammar and vocabulary knowledge. Read each sentence carefully. Consider all the options before making your choice. Pay attention to the words around the blank. Time management is also important in this section. You have a limited amount of time for the entire reading section. The incomplete sentences part should be completed efficiently. Many test takers aim to spend about 30 seconds per question. This allows more time for the longer reading passages in part 6 and part 7. Practicing this section will help you improve your speed. You will learn to quickly identify what each question is testing. This skill is very useful for the actual test. Understanding subject-verb agreement is fundamental for the TOEIC test. This rule is simple but very important. A singular subject needs a singular verb. A plural subject needs a plural verb. The subject is the noun or pronoun that performs the action. The verb is the action word. For example, the manager reviews the report. Another example is the employees attend the meeting. Always identify the subject first, then choose the correct verb form. Sometimes phrases or clauses come between the subject and the verb. These phrases can make it tricky to identify the true subject. Do not be confused by these intervening words. For example, the report, along with its attachments, is ready. The subject is report, which is singular. The phrase along with its attachments does not change the subject. So the correct verb is. The sentence is the report, along with its attachments, is ready. Always look for the main noun that controls the verb. Certain collective nouns can be singular or plural. Words like team, committee, company, or staff can be tricky. If the noun acts as a single unit, use a singular verb. For example, the team works well together. Here, team is one unit. If the members of the group are acting as individuals, you might use a plural verb, especially in British English. However, for TOEIC, collective nouns usually take singular verbs. Focus on this standard rule. The committee decides on the budget. Pronouns also follow subject-verb agreement rules. Singular pronouns like he, she, and it takes singular verbs. For example, he works, she writes, it runs. Plural pronouns like we, you, and they take plural verbs. For example, we work, you write, they run. The pronoun I takes a singular verb, but it often has a special form. For example, I am, I work. Pay close attention to indefinite pronouns too. Pronouns like everyone, someone, nobody, and each are singular. They require singular verbs. For instance, everyone needs to submit their timesheet. Verb tenses are crucial for conveying the correct time of an action or event. The TOEIC test often checks your understanding of different tenses. You need to choose the verb form that fits the time context of the sentence. Common tenses tested include the simple present, simple past, and simple future. The present, perfect, and past perfect tenses also appear frequently. Each tense has specific uses and is often signaled by time expressions. Learning these signals will help you select the correct verb tense. The simple present tense describes habits, routines, facts, or general truths. Time expressions like every day, often, usually, or always indicate this tense. For example, our company holds a staff meeting every Monday. The correct answer is holds because every Monday indicates a routine. The simple past tense describes actions completed at a specific time in the past. Keywords include yesterday, last week, ago, or a specific past date. For instance, she completed the project yesterday. The answer is completed. The simple future tense describes actions that will happen in the future. Look for words like tomorrow, next year, soon, or in the future. For example, we will launch the new product next month. The correct choice is will launch. The present perfect tense, has, have plus past participle, is used for actions that happened at an unspecified time in the past or actions that started in the past and continue to the present. Keywords like since, for already, yet, and recently often signal this tense. Mr. Kim has worked here for 10 years. The past perfect tense, had plus past participle, describes an action that was completed before another action or time in the past. It shows the sequence of two past events. For example, by the time the manager arrived, the presentation had started. The presentation started first, so had started is correct. Understanding the relationship between events and the time markers in the sentence is key. Practice identifying these clues. This will significantly improve your accuracy in choosing the correct verb tense for each question. Section 5. Building your vocabulary. The power of context clues. Improving your vocabulary is essential for success in the incomplete sentences section. You do not always need to know the exact dictionary definition of every word. Often you can understand the meaning of an unknown word by using context clues. Context clues are hints found within the sentence or surrounding sentences. These clues can help you make an educated guess about the meaning of a word. Learning to use context clues effectively is a valuable skill for the TOEIC test. It can save you time and help you choose the correct answer. There are several types of context clues. Sometimes the sentence might provide a definition or an explanation of the word. For example, the company needs to mitigate or lessen the risks associated with the new project. Here, lessen explains what mitigate means. Other times the sentence might give examples that help clarify the meaning. For instance, the office supplies such as pens, paper, and notebooks are running low. The examples show what office supplies refers to. Look for such direct hints carefully. Synonyms and antonyms can also serve as context clues. A synonym is a word with a similar meaning. An antonym is a word with an opposite meaning. The sentence might use a synonym or antonym for the unfamiliar word. For example, she was elated by the good news. In fact, she was overjoyed. Overjoyed is a synonym for elated. Or, unlike his gregarious brother, Mark was very shy. Shy is an antonym for gregarious, suggesting gregarious means sociable. These relationships between words provide strong clues. Using context clues requires careful reading of the entire sentence. Do not focus only on the blank. Look at the words before and after the blank. Think about the overall meaning of the sentence. Ask yourself what kind of word would make sense in that specific context. Is it a positive word or a negative word? Does it describe an action, a person, or a thing? By analyzing the surrounding information, you can often deduce the meaning of an unknown word or choose the most appropriate word from the options provided. This skill becomes stronger with practice. Section 6. Building your vocabulary. Recognizing word families and parts of speech. Another effective strategy for vocabulary improvement is learning word families. A word family is a group of words that share a common root or base word. These words have related meanings but different grammatical functions. For example, consider the root word success. From this root we get succeed, verb, successful, adjective, and successfully, adverb. Recognizing these patterns can help you choose the correct form of a word to fill the blank. Many TOEIC questions test your ability to identify the right part of speech. Understanding parts of speech is crucial. The main parts of speech are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Nouns name people, places, things, or ideas like manager, office, report, success. Verbs express actions or states of being, such as manage, work, report, succeed. Adjectives describe nouns or pronouns like managerial, busy, successful. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, often telling how, when, or where, such as successfully, quickly, annually. Knowing the function of each part of speech helps you understand sentence structure. When you encounter an incomplete sentence question, look at the words around the blank. These words can give you clues about the part of speech needed. For example, if the blank is preceded by an article like a or the, and followed by a preposition or the end of the sentence, you likely need a noun. If the blank is after a subject and before an object, you probably need a verb. If the blank is before a noun, an adjective is often required. If it modifies a verb, an adverb is needed. The company announced its results. Here, results is a noun, so an adjective like financial is needed. Practice identifying the part of speech of the answer choices. Often the four options will be different forms of the same base word. For example, A, create verb, B, creation noun, C, creative adjective, D, creatively, adverb. By analyzing the sentence structure, you can determine which part of speech is missing. For instance, the team needs to find a solution to the problem. The blank is before the noun solution, so an adjective is needed, creative. This systematic approach can help you answer many vocabulary-based questions correctly. Section 7. The crucial role of practice tests. Taking practice tests is one of the most effective ways to prepare for the TOEIC. Practice tests help you become familiar with the format of the incomplete sentences section. You will see the types of questions that are commonly asked. This familiarity reduces anxiety on the actual test day. You will know what to expect. Regular practice also helps you understand the level of difficulty. You can identify areas where you are strong and areas where you need more improvement. This allows you to focus your study time more effectively. When you take practice tests, try to simulate real exam conditions. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Set a timer for the section. For incomplete sentences, aim to spend about 30 seconds per question. This helps you practice working under time pressure. The TOEIC test requires good time management. By practicing with a timer, you can improve your speed and efficiency. You learn to make quick and accurate decisions. This is a very important skill for achieving a high score. After completing a practice test, always review your answers carefully. Do not just look at your score. Analyze your mistakes. For each incorrect answer, try to understand why you made the mistake. Was it a grammar rule you did not know? Was it an unfamiliar vocabulary word? Did you misread the sentence? Understanding your errors is crucial for improvement. Keep a notebook of your common mistakes and the correct explanations. Review this notebook regularly. This helps you avoid making the same mistakes again. There are many resources available for TOEIC practice tests. Barron's ETS, the official test maker, and other publishers offer practice materials. Use official materials when possible, as they are closest to the real test. You can find practice books and online tests. Some resources provide detailed explanations for each answer. These explanations are very helpful for learning. Consistent practice, combined with careful review and analysis, will build your skills and confidence. You will gradually see your performance improve. This makes a big difference on test day. Section 8. Avoiding common pitfalls, mistakes, and solutions. Many test takers make similar mistakes in the incomplete sentences section. Knowing these common pitfalls can help you avoid them. One frequent error is choosing an answer that sounds good but is grammatically incorrect. Some options might use familiar words in incorrect structures. Always double-check the grammar. Ensure the chosen word fits perfectly into the sentence's grammatical framework. Do not rely only on how a word sounds. Focus on the rules of English grammar that you have learned. This careful checking is important. Another common mistake is selecting a word that is grammatically correct, but does not fit the meaning of the sentence. Some answer choices might be the right part of speech. They might agree with the subject. However, they might make the sentence nonsensical or illogical. Always read the entire sentence after you insert your chosen word. Check if the completed sentence makes sense in the given context. The correct answer must be both grammatically right and semantically appropriate. This is a key aspect of understanding vocabulary and context. Not reading the entire sentence carefully is a major source of errors. Some test takers try to save time by only looking at the words immediately around the blank. This can be risky. Important clues about grammar or meaning might be located elsewhere in the sentence. For example, a time expression at the end of the sentence can determine the correct verb tense. Always read the full sentence from beginning to end before considering the options. This ensures you have all the necessary information to make the best choice. Finally, rushing can lead to careless mistakes. While time management is important, accuracy should not be sacrificed for speed. If you rush, you might overlook key details or misinterpret the question. Try to find a balance between working efficiently and being careful. If you are unsure about a question, make your best guess and move on. You can mark it and return to it later if you have time. Staying calm and focused helps prevent simple errors. Practice helps you build both speed and accuracy, reducing the need to rush. Section 9. Achieving Success. Your confident approach to TOEIC. Mastering the incomplete sentences. Section of the TOEIC test is definitely achievable. It requires a systematic approach and consistent effort. By focusing on the key areas of grammar and vocabulary, you can significantly improve your performance. Remember the strategies we have discussed. Understand subject-verb agreement and verb tenses. Learn how to use context clues and recognize word families. These skills are the building blocks for success in this section. Your hard work will pay off. Practice is your most powerful tool. Regularly working with sample tests will build your familiarity with question types. It will also improve your timing and accuracy. Do not be discouraged by mistakes during practice. Instead, view them as learning opportunities. Each error you analyze and understand brings you one step closer to your goal. The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you will become. This confidence is very important when you sit for the actual TOEIC test. Believe in your ability to improve. On the day of the test, approach the incomplete sentences section with a positive mindset. Trust in the preparation you have done. Read each sentence carefully. Consider all the options. Apply the grammar rules and vocabulary knowledge you have acquired. Manage your time wisely, but do not rush unnecessarily. If you encounter a difficult question, make an educated guess and move on. You can always return to it if time permits at the end of the section. Stay calm and focused throughout the test. Your journey to mastering this part of the TOEIC is a marathon, not a sprint. Consistent study and practice over time will yield the best results. Celebrate your progress along the way. Every new grammar rule learned and every new vocabulary word mastered is a step forward. With dedication and the right strategies, you can confidently tackle the incomplete sentences. You can achieve a score that opens new doors for your career and education. We wish you the very best in your TOEIC preparation and on your test day.